In a small and peaceful town surrounded by rolling green hills lived a young man named Sam. Everyone in the town knew him for his bright smile and his endless energy. But lately Sam's cheerful face had turned quiet. He would often sit alone under the big oak tree near his family's horse farm, lost in thought. He had just finished high school, but unlike his friends, Sam wasn't preparing to go to college. It wasn't because of money. His family owned a 20-acre horse farm, one of the largest and richest in the region. The problem was something deeper. Sam didn't enjoy studying. No subject caught his interest. Every page in his school book felt meaningless, and he felt lost about what to do next. One morning, while helping his father, Mr. David, fix the fence near the stables, Sam finally spoke up. "Dad," he said softly, "I just don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life." His father looked at him, his weathered face calm and kind. Mr. David was known in town as the man with the golden leg, though Sam never really knew why. Instead of getting angry or giving a long lecture like most parents, his father smiled and said, "Son, I have a little task for you. I want you to meet 3 of my old friends. Listen to their stories carefully, and maybe you'll find your answer." He handed Sam a small piece of paper with 3 names and addresses written neatly on it. "Tell them you are the son of David, the man with the golden leg," he added. Sam was curious. "Dad," he asked, "why do people call you the man with the golden leg?" His father chuckled. "You'll find out soon enough. Just remember, listen more than you speak." With that, Sam packed his bag, saddled his horse, and set off on his small journey. His first stop was a large house about 2 kilometers away. The name on the paper said, Mr. Andres. When Sam arrived, he saw an old man with a strong build, still looking like someone who had spent years in sports. Sam introduced himself, saying, "Sir, I'm David's son, the man with the golden leg." At once, Mr. Andres's eyes lit up with recognition. "Ah, David's boy," he said warmly. "I remember your father well." "So what brings you here?" Sam explained that he wanted to know the secret behind Mr. Andres's success. The old man smiled. "Well, I wasn't always successful," he said, leaning back in his chair. "When I was in school, I was ranked 38th out of 40 students. I was terrible at studying. I barely passed. But there was one thing I loved, running. Every morning, before school, I would run through the fields. I wasn't fast at first. I lost every race. But I loved the feeling of running. I trained harder each year. I learned from my mistakes, improved my breathing, my pace, my timing. 5 years later, I won my first medal. After that, I never stopped. One race led to another. That's how I became who I am today." Sam listened closely. For the first time, something clicked in his mind. He realized that success wasn't about being perfect or topping every exam. It was about getting better at what you loved doing, even if it took years. As he thanked Mr. Andres and prepared to leave, the old man smiled and said, "Tell your father that his golden leg still shines in my memory." Sam then rode to the next address, a beautiful modern house near the main road. The name on the list said Mr. Thomas. When Sam knocked, a cheerful man opened the door. "Oh, you must be David's son," he said with a big grin. Come in, come in." "I used to know your father well." Sam smiled politely and asked, "Sir, could you please tell me your story of success?" Mr. Thomas laughed heartily. "My story? It's not much different from your father's, I suppose. You see, I was ranked 39th in school. I didn't like studying either. I loved 2 things, eating and talking. I used to spend hours discussing food, recipes, and flavors with anyone who would listen. My teachers used to say I talked too much, but I couldn't help it. One day I decided to learn cooking, not because someone told me to, but because I loved food. My first few dishes were awful. My family wouldn't even eat them. But I kept trying. I experimented, failed, learned again, and slowly got better." He paused, remembering his journey. "A friend once told me my cooking was so good I should sell it. So I started a small food stall. The first year I made no profit, but my love for food kept me going. I learned better recipes, learned how to talk to customers, and slowly, people started coming back. 5 years later, I opened this restaurant. Now look around. It's all because I never stopped doing what I loved." Sam's eyes sparkled. "So you didn't need good grades to become successful?" Mr. Thomas shook his head. "No, son. You only need one skill, something you can do with passion. Keep doing it, and the world will eventually notice." Feeling more hopeful than before, Sam rode off to the third and final name on his father's list. Mr. Miguel. This time, the journey took longer and the road became quieter. Finally, he arrived at a small, simple house with a garden full of flowers. Mr. Miguel opened the door, a kind smile on his face. Sam introduced himself and asked about his success. Mr. Miguel invited him inside and said softly, "Ah, yes, I was the top student in our class, number 1 out of 40. I studied hard and got the best grades in everything. But here's the truth, I never learned one thing deeply. I knew a little about everything, but became an expert at nothing. I thought good grades were enough, but life proved me wrong. My friends, like your father and Andres and Thomas, they followed their passion. I followed rules, and that's why their lives are full of purpose while mine feels ordinary." Sam was surprised. Then, remembering his father's strange nickname, he asked, "Sir, why do people call my dad the man with the golden leg?" Mr. Miguel smiled fondly. "Ah, that story. When we were young, your father was ranked last, number 40. He once fell off a horse and broke his leg badly. The doctor had to wrap it in a golden-colored bandage. After that, people started jokingly calling him the man with the golden leg. But here's the real gold. He never gave up his love for horses. Even with that injury, he trained them, cared for them, and built a business that became one of the biggest horse farms in the region. That's why his leg is golden, not because of the color, but because of his courage and dedication." When Sam heard this, his heart filled with pride and realization. He finally understood. His father, who was last in school, became successful because he never gave up on what he loved. All three men had one thing in common. They followed their passion, not the expectations of others. As Sam rode home through the sunset, the sky glowed orange and gold, just like his father's golden leg. He felt a new fire inside him. He now knew that he loved working with horses too. He wanted to train them, understand them, and maybe even study more about animal care and farming. Not because anyone told him to, but because he truly wanted it. When he returned home, he ran to his father and said, "Dad, I understand now. I know what I want to do." His father smiled knowingly. "So you found your answer?" Sam nodded with shining eyes. "Yes, I want to work with horses just like you, but I also want to learn more about them, to be the best I can." Mr. David placed a hand on his son's shoulder. "Then you've already taken the first step, Sam. The rest is just the journey." From that day on, Sam worked harder than ever. He woke up early to feed the horses, read books about training techniques, and practiced every day. Slowly, he began to master his craft, and just like his father, he became known as one of the best horse trainers in the region, not because of luck or grades, but because he listened to the quiet voice inside him. Moral: success isn't about being number 1. It's about knowing who you are and what you love. The key to your future is already inside you. No one can create your dream for you. If you follow the crowd, you may go far. But if you follow your heart, you'll go where you truly belong. The world remembers those who walk their own path, because they don't just follow roads, they create them.